So today, I have with me for an interview, Nevi. How are you?
I am alive. Whether that's regrettable or not, I can't tell.
I would hope not. My goodness. Okay, that's one way to start.
Yeah. It's great to be here. I guess I've never done anything like this before, so it's nice to be here.
I'm happy to have you. So Nevi, you're an up-and-coming voice actress. How's that been?
I am. I have actually been a voice actress for about 4 years now, but none of it was professional. I was busy with a lot of my life stuff, and so recently, after having gone through some new life stuff and having a bunch of my time opened up, I thought, you know what, let's finally take this seriously. So I made up a couple demo reels. I started contacting people, and suddenly I got Peachy, I got Cummingham, and things are going great. So that's where I am right now. It's pretty great.
So I'm curious, did these other voice actresses reach out to you, or did you go to them?
So I reached out to a friend of mine who I knew had at one point done voice acting, and I was like, "Hey, how can I get myself out there, et cetera, et cetera?" She's just like, "Yo, do this and this." I started reaching out to people. I reached out to the amazing animator Cummingham. Highly suggest him, by the way, if you're listening to this. He does some really good work. I've been working with him recently, and he's like, "Absolutely, love your demo reel." And we got to talking about prices, and I was like, "I don't really know how I should price myself." And he's like, "Well, actually, I know this one voice actress. She's been doing this for about 6 months. She's pretty good at it. She might be able to help you in that direction." So I talked to Miss Peachy, the voice actress, and we got to talking. She sent me her guide. I took a look at her resume, basically used that as a guide for my resume and portfolio, and then I completely overhauled her guide because she had a voice acting guide, and we've been friends since. So I edited her guide, did a bunch of writing, and I don't know, we've just been fairly close since, and that's helped me a lot in the voice acting area.
I see why. I see why she recommended you so very, very highly.
I mean, I personally don't think my work's all that great. I always strive to be better, but I mean, we're our what's the word, or what's the saying? We're our own worst critics. So when I listen back to it, I'm like, is that good enough? Let's take a few more takes. I'm a perfectionist. I have to have the perfect voice for a character. So having her and Cummingham to back me up and give me opinions on my work really helps to fortify that.
I see. So tell me, Nevi, where did you learn to modulate your voice to try and do other voices like in typical voice acting? Oh boy.
Yeah, that's a story. So I won't go too deep into it because some of it is personal. However, a ways back, for medical reasons, I had to start retraining my voice because some stuff happened and I couldn't talk properly. And I got really into it. I started playing with my voice. I started retraining my voice so that it would sound proper again. And then at that point, I had an amazing range. Like, I can go all the way up here and sound like a fucking idiot, and then I can. Oh dear, who's that over there? I'm the Mimic King. I'm here to give you magic items. And that brings me to the other reason that I started doing it. Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh my, it always comes back to D&D.
It does. It always comes back to D&D. I'm an avid fan. I've been playing for about 15 years or so, give or take. And between that and the medical training, it just caught on. So, yeah. A lot of the voices that I do in Dungeons & Dragons, I don't feature on my demo reel, but I do have quite a wide range, and if anyone needs an audition for a particular type of character, I usually can do it.
Any type of character?
Not any, just sometimes. It depends. I have a lot of different voices. I have goblin voices. I have voices that I really shouldn't do for a long period of time, which is why they're not on my demo reel, because they're very bad for the throat. but like I'll use them intermittently in Dungeons and Dragons, so that way, add a little bit more flavor and full bodiedness, I guess you could say, to the campaign. Because I don't want my campaigns only to be writing. As much as I love writing and creating an amazing story, an amazing world and universe around my characters, there needs to be something a little bit more. So voice acting really, really helps to build upon what I've already written.
I see. Now I'm very curious. You also do not safe for work voice acting, correct?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
So what's the story behind that? How did that get started?
Like I said recently, I thought, what's the best way to become a professional for this? So I can do safe for work voice acting, and I can do NSFW voice acting. I know I can do that because I've made more than a few people lose No Nut November with recordings before, because I'm a horrible person and I love making people lose No Nut November. Which is an ongoing meme in my server. But I thought I might as well give it a try. I made up a not safe for work demo reel, and like I said, I contacted Cummingham, who by his name you should be able to infer he's not exactly safe for work. He makes really good animations, though. Oh my god.
But like, how did you necessarily transition into that? Like, surely, like, there was a first not safe for work job.
No. Well, I mean, there was recently, but I just thought, okay, I'll do it. And then recently, I did this one commission for what was his name? Apollo 05. He has a very particular type of fetish, and it's not a fetish that's very common, so it's hard for him to find stuff on it. So he commissioned me to do an inflation fetish, where a smug goth girl inflates him and then pops him. And he was completely right when I said it was hard not to laugh during it, because it's pretty silly. I understand it's his fetish, and I'm totally like okay with that. It's silly to read this stuff off sometimes, so it took me a few takes. It was fun, though. It was a very fun, very, very fun recording.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yes, interesting, I know. Of course, like I said, I contacted Cummingham first. He said, I don't have any work right now, but I would love to. I listened to your demo reel. I'd love to recruit you for some future stuff that I'm currently not allowed to talk about, but super secret, top secret stuff in the future. So.
I'm happy to hear. I'm happy to hear you've gotten work so quickly in this field.
Oh yeah, I recently got a commission with, what's his name? Furromatic, I believe his name is. Furromantic. He does a lot of furry animations, which there's a big market for. So I recorded that this morning, and I'm just waiting for the payment to go through, and I'll be sending him the wave.
Oh my. So tell me, Nevi, how far do you want to take voice acting? Is this your dream job? Is this what you want?
Well, I'm retired, so as far as I want. As far as I feel like.
Oh.
I mean, I very much enjoy the work. I very much enjoy the challenges that it brings me, because I've always been somewhat insecure about my voice. So this is the most challenging occupation I could have. As a tomboy, I've always been insecure about my voice. So doing this particular job is the absolute most challenging thing I could do. And that, in my opinion, is the best thing that I can do to better myself as a person.
Oh, that's actually very noble of you. That's that's endearing.
Jeez, I wouldn't call it noble, but...
Well, wanting to improve yourself, wanting to continue to improve, and looking at this, like, the constant need for self-improvement, that is admirable. That is admirable.
I mean, I won't go too deep into the philosophical point of it, but I will say that anyone out there that they're feeling down or unfulfilled, the first step to it is to just do something, anything small, to start improving yourself. Anything and everything. Try to master something over time. That's the best thing you can do. You want to become the best in whatever it is that you do. So just keep pushing for it, and don't get discouraged just because you fail a couple times. Failure is how you learn. That's the most important part of it. If you don't fail, you'll never learn and you'll never get better.
Indeed, very true, very true. So, tell me, Nevi, are there any voices you are particularly fond of doing?
The one you heard earlier, the Mimic King, is one of my favorite voices. He's from a friend of mine's campaign. He is literally just a mimic. He's the king of mimics. So, a giant talking chest of body horror disgustingness with a giant tongue, and he just spits out magic items to sell us. He's a very fun character. He's definitely one of my favorite voices I've ever played. It's a very strange voice because it's fairly androgynous as a voice, but it's so much fun because he's just so smug and pompous and silly, and I absolutely love that so much. As far as NSFW voices go, I'd have to say it would be my voice. My voice. The double my. I'm
trying to decipher. So, are you talking about your own voice, or is there a character called my?
The quote, my unquote voice. Which is, it's the big tittied motherly voice.
Oh! Okay.
Sorry, I've never talked about this in person, so it's kind of embarrassing. It's not that embarrassing when you're doing it behind a mic, behind a screen, but when you talk about it, it's a little bit different.
Oh, I get that. I totally get that.
But yeah, no. In my demo reel, there's a particular character. She's from one of the Fates, the Fate series. I believe she's a berserker. If you don't know what Fates is, I wouldn't suggest the entire series. I would suggest Fate Stay Night, Unlimited Blade Works, and the Unlimited Blade Works Bridge series that just came out. Very good work by Project Mouthwash, by the way. Amazing voice actors on that project as well. Absolutely love them. But I don't remember her name. She's some berserk lady. She's a berserker. She's got some demon spirit inside her, but she's this very loving, adoring, kind of like big-breasted, motherly character. So someone suggested I put that in my demo reel, so I did.
All right, now let me ask you this. Are there any voices that you particularly struggle with? Any types of characters?
Oh, yes. I can't do the classic anime character. I can't do your classic teenage anime, like, really high-pitched, super happy voice, because I have a very mid-high range. So, and because of the way my voice works, it resonates in the upper part of my throat rather than in my nose, which I can make it resonate in my nose, but it's very, very hard. So I sound more like a smoker girl or a biker girl. And those are the parts that I usually audition for because they suit my voice the best, because I can variate that as needed for any type of girl. But badass girls are primo. But as far as like the super high pitched like lolly girls, can't do those that well. I think like the closest to a lolly voice I can come is, give me a sec. Constantly drink water. That's important. Welcome to Misfit City. I'll be your guide to... A little bit of phlegm there. Fuck. I had some milk earlier, so that is not helping me out right now. That's another tip. Never drink milk before a recording. I didn't think I was going to be put on the spot here, but you know what? I'll do it. I'll do what I got to do.
Oh, Miss Peachy's going to love this.
Oh, fucking hell. I love you, Peachy, but also fuck you. Welcome to Misfit City. I'll be your guide today. That's about the highest I can get. The closest to lolly that I will ever get. And
well, I have to say that's still pretty good. That's still pretty good. That's a very good character voice.
Not to my ears, but yeah, no, it's not bad, but it's not that clear, crisp, like stereotypical anime voice that you get. But because I can't do that, I don't get typecast as the stereotypical anime girl. So it's got its pros and cons to it, definitely.
All right, now let me ask you this. You said before, earlier in the interview, that you
Yep.
are a perfectionist. So, I'm curious, what kind of
Very much.
equipment do you use to record with then?
All right, that's a good question. So like I said, I am a perfectionist. So when I first started recording way back, I had what was it? A snowball? Yeah, blue snowball.
What I'm using right now.
Yes. I hate that thing with a fucking passion. It's horrible. I hate it. It's the worst thing I have ever used. I've used some bad mics, but it's got so many problems that I could not stand anymore. Not to mention it's big and it's bulky, and I just really didn't like it. So
Yep.
I upgraded to what I'm currently using, which is an AT2020 cardioid condenser microphone, USB to my laptop, of course, and I use Adobe Audition for all of my editing needs.
I see. And what's the number one issue you encounter when voice acting, and particularly editing audio?
Probably the fact that my computer has no fucking chill. So it's just its fans are always fucking on. That's the number one, because like I can always re-record takes if I mess up. But like if I get a really good take and my computer just says, "Nope, no chill, 100% maximum no chill." That's a reference, by the way. 100% maximum no chill, just fucking throw these fans out the window, then I have to re-record it, and even if it was a perfect take, and that's the worst thing in the world. I hate that, because you just had the perfect take. What are the odds that you're going to get that again? What are the odds?
How about we flip a coin and find out?
I don't think it's a coin flip. The thing is, a lot of the time when you hit that peak, when you finally get the perfect, a lot of the times you won't be able, at least in my opinion, you won't be able to recreate it perfectly right afterwards. You'll have to keep playing with the voice. You'll have to keep toying with your resonance, a variety of things, especially if you're coming up with a new voice for a character, which is the hardest part about it. Because if you have an established voice, that's a little bit easier because you can just fall into it. Excuse me. If you have an established voice, and it's a little bit easier because you can just straight fall into the character, but if it's something new, something that you're coming up with, a lot of times you'll have to play with it, and when you finally get it right, and you finally get that perfect take, and then you have to delete that take because of something else, you might not fall right back into it because you don't have enough practice in that particular voice.
True, very true. Now let me ask you this, Nevi. How important is a script to you, or are you very good at improv?
Because of D&D, I'm fairly okay at improv. If I know the character well, I can easily ad-lib. Although having a script to at least give me an idea of what the character is like, what their personality is, what their motivations are, that is the most important part. I need to know the character. And if you're voice acting, definitely make sure you know the character before you can just like jump into any kind of improv on the spot. Like, I mean, I've changed scripts up on the fly just to make it sound more natural, but that's only because I know the character. You can't just do that when you're just reading a script and you have no idea who this character is.
I see. So tell me, Nevi, what would you like to voice act for the most? Video games, animated features, like what's your dream project to work on?
That's a good question. I don't know. I just started this because I thought it'd be fun. I guess I'd have to say probably eventually anime, if at all. I like being independent so far. It's fun. Taxes are a bitch though, but it's fun. I would really, really enjoy to be in an anime or a large-scale video game or something as just your classic badass check. In fact, there's this one girl from an anime named Planets. She is a pilot. If you haven't watched Planets, I highly suggest it, Ryan. It's amazing. She is a pilot. I cannot for the life of me remember her name, but she's the pilot for the trash hauling division. They basically haul like space debris from around Earth and then get rid of it, so that way it's not a risk to anyone going into space. And she's the one who pilots the ship. And I would love to have voice acted her in the dub. I mean, it's already dubbed, but I would have loved it. It would have been great. She's an amazing character, and I really feel that she fits with my voice very well. But something like that. Definitely something like that.
I definitely need to give that a listen.
It's an amazing anime. I'll just do a quick plug here because it's one of my favorite anime. But it really explores the themes of economy in space, and the themes of mortality in space as well, like the absolute hopelessness of humanity against the infinite cosmos, as well as exploring relationships and just a variety of character arcs throughout the story. It's an amazing watch. It's the only thing is, you better set some time aside to watch it, because once you sit down and watch the first couple episodes, you won't want to stop. It's just incredibly interesting.
I got ya. All right, one last professional business question. So tell me, Nevi, how do you prepare for a voice role? What methods do you use to prepare your voice?
So that's a good question, actually. Like I said, I've been doing this for about, give or take, 4 years. And I found a variety of things specifically for this. And I actually, like I said, I rewrote Peachy's guide and incorporated a lot of my current knowledge into it as well. So if you guys, I'll send Ryan a link. If anyone here is a voice actress or an aspiring voice actor or whatever you are, check out this guide. It's very useful. It's free. It's just a Google Doc, and you can just read it as much as you want. But one sec, water. Water is very important. So the first thing is get yourself a gallon of water. That's the most important thing. That is, like, I know that sounds silly, but staying hydrated is the most important thing to keep your throat healthy. You don't want to overdo it, and you don't want to dry out your throat. 2, do not drink alcohol, milk, coffee, tea, and do not smoke before a recording. No more than 2 hours before a recording. And any point within that 2 hours is a bad thing. Milk causes mucus. Coffee, tea, and tobacco all either dry or damage, or both, the throat. So you do not want that. Those are your first 5 big tips. Second, I said 5, but second, stretching. Excuse me, I have the hiccups.
It's all right.
No, I just get a little excited when I get into a rant. So the second thing is stretching. Stretching is very important. A lot of people forget that that our job is a full body exercise. Like, how your body reacts to any kind of external stimulus will affect how you sound. So, of course, doing some minor neck stretches, minor back and shoulder and chest stretches, as well as some arm stretches, will do amazing things for you. Third, you have your basic tongue twisters. So, she sells seashells on the seashore. I don't know any others. I don't know any others off the top of my head. I usually read them out loud. But tongue twisters are a really good way to loosen up the tongue and get all that blah, 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 blah out. Just making random noises helps as well. Doing some practice sentences just to make sure that you're enunciating properly or you're intonating properly. And then after that, it's just a matter of staying hydrated and getting yourself into the mindset of the character and listening to the director. Because the director will help to push you along in the right direction. And as you find that voice, once you do, you just do your best to stick with it. And after that, it's all history. You'll just do your job, and hopefully you'll get paid, unless your director doesn't want to pay you.
In that case, you form a union and you take his ass down.
Yes. I want his head on a pike.
Okay, now.
Sorry. I've been playing too much New Vegas. It's not my fault. It's a good game, to be fair. It just makes you a little violent.
Hey, we don't want to give those lawmakers any ideas now.
But yeah, no, I've been playing a lot of New Vegas. It's been fun. Been a barbarian. It's that good shit.
This is
But
an
yeah.
excellent segue into the next segment of the interview. Moving away from professional questions, are you alright with me asking you some personal questions to try and
Go
get to
ahead.
know you a bit
If
more?
I'm not alright with the question, I will just let you know.
Of course, of course. So, tell me, Nevi, tell me. We've already established that you have quite a few hobbies, anime, video games,
Yeah.
but could you get more in detail, in depth about those?
I know you wanted to talk about this specifically on the or not the podcast, on the interview. So I will get into it. I am also a brewer on the side. It is one of my favorite hobbies. I love to drink. I have a passion for alcohol, responsible alcohol use. That's very important. And so I brew on the side. That is a thing that I do. Is there anything specific you would like to know about that?
How did that get started?
Well, so a while back when I was still in the Navy, yes, that's another topic for later. We'll save that one for now. A while back when I was still in the Navy, I was in a very bad place. We won't talk about the specifics, but I was in a bad place. And so I turned to alcohol. Of course, this is not a good idea normally. Don't do this, kids at home, ever. This will almost definitely kill you. But a good friend of mine taught me how to drink responsibly to help deal with the stress and to help me open my mind to new experiences and help me better myself. Alcohol has been an incredibly positive force in my life since then. And that's one of the reasons I'm such a big advocate for responsible use of alcohol, which, again, that is incredibly important. Responsible. Very important. But after that, I started getting into brewing, and the rest is history. I've learned a lot since then, and currently I'm working on a fortified mead. What that is for those of you who don't know, a mead is a honey wine, and the fortifying it is essentially putting in alcohol to kill off the yeast, which not only raises the ABV, it also keeps the flavor without having to use sorbates. Sorbates are a specific type of chemical which can often be used to stop the reactions between yeast, essentially the reproduction. And in using that, you can usually drink it within 6 months, but it'll start to deteriorate in flavor after that. And that's not my thing. Like I like to keep it as fresh as possible, so I'm going to fortify this mead.
Oh my.
I should also mention it is a pumpkin pie seasonal mead, so that's really good. It's really good.
Oh, that does sound good.
It is. I've already taste tested it before it was finished, and it is amazing, and I love it. It's great.
So what other kind of recipes do you brew up?
Last summer I did a jasmine rice beer, which had a fruity base. So it wasn't a lager. It was an ale. And so for those of you who don't know, the difference between a lager and an ale is that ale is generally fruitier in flavor. It is a warm brewing method, and lager is crisper, clearer, with a slightly bitter aftertaste, and it is a cold brewing method. Those are the two differences. This was an ale. I was warm brewing it and then cooling it afterward. I wanted something fruity with a nice sour punch, so I didn't want something bitter. So what I did was I got sour cherries, lime, rice, which was the base for it, and some oats. Those were the two bases for it. I didn't have hops or anything. I don't usually like putting hops in ales anyway, so it's really not my thing. But that was the base for my mash. Just a little bit of sugar to get the yeast started, and then it can start breaking down the oats and the rice and all that. And I brewed it up, and it became an amazingly refreshing summer ale. It was beautiful, just sour enough, just slightly bitter. It was a beautiful ale. Loved it.
So what tools do you use to brew?
Oh yeah, so I don't have any professional outfits. Too expensive, and I don't really. As long as you wash out the stuff you use properly with hot soap and water, the yeast usually doesn't suffer. And so I usually use either wild yeast or bread yeast. Excuse me, more water. I use wild yeast or bread yeast, or I will Sometimes you use alcohol yeast. I don't like using those because it's hard to breed your own strain of yeast that way. In fact, I've got my own strain of yeast that I'm working on right now, based off of bread yeast. Then I just brew them in gallon water jugs after cleaning out the plastic, and I'll stuff the hole with cotton to keep any other bacteria out and other things that carry bacteria, because that's very important. If you want a clean brew, you need to ensure that there's no other bacteria in it. And from there, you just let it brew. You can brew it cold. You can brew it cold, or you can brew it warm. Doesn't really matter. I mean, it does. It'll change the flavor, but I did have an experimental brew I tried recently. I was specifically trying to see if I could pasteurize properly. Could not at all. I can't. It's way too hard to pasteurize. It's ridiculous. But to pasteurize it, you need to heat it up to such a degree that the yeast dies, but the alcohol doesn't disappear. I couldn't do it. It was too hard. But yeah.
I'm curious, have you ever brought any of your homemade alcohols to parties, or is that just for you?
I'm not much of a party girl.
I doubt that.
I don't really go out that much, like at all. A lot of because my job, I'm retired and my job is at home. I don't go out much except when I feel like it. I don't have a lot of local friends except a couple. And all of us are nerds, so we don't party. That's another thing we do. So yeah, I'm not a party girl. When I drink, I don't drink alone. I always drink with somebody nearby, or I drink with somebody online, so that I have a stimulating conversation to keep myself from getting depressed or angry, or the bad parts of drunk. That's very important. You should never drink alone. I always have plenty of water on hand, and I never drink more than twice a month. I also only usually drink 1 to 2 drinks, depending on the type of drink. It's the equivalent of 1 to 2 drinks per time that I do drink. So I have very strict rules set for myself, so that way I don't abuse it. Which, again, responsibility in using this, what is legitimately a drug, is very important. I mean, us humans like our poison, and it is a poison technically, but it is very important to be careful how we handle that poison.
Yeah, wow, you're just a beacon, of nobility, and it's so admirable.
Stop.
Yes, yes. My God.
No, I'm not. I'm really not. I'm just 25 years old. I've seen a lot, and I've gotten to this point where I understand a lot about the things that I do and how I as a person work, and I don't want to see anybody go through that. So I do my best to help people. That's what humans do. That's what they're supposed to do. It's not noble. It's just what we do. Not special at all. It's just expected.
You're very special. You're very special, Nevi. You're very special. Very admirable. Very...
All right, Ryan. Let's move on. Shut up.
Oh, okay. No more questions then.
No. That's not what I meant.
All right. So...
You're flustered, asshole.
Why does this keep happening with girls? Okay, so... Let me ask you this. The Navy. How did that happen?
Don't join the Navy, kids. Bad idea. Navy. How did that happen? That's a long story. But I do want to put out there, kids, anyone out there who's thinking about joining the military, make sure you know everything before you do. It's very important. Recruiters will lie to you. The Navy is not the Navy, the military, any of it is. The Air Force, it's really not what it seems. And that's, I don't know. I won't go into details because a lot of the stories that I could tell are more horror stories than anything. And I don't know how appropriate that is. But just be careful when you're joining the military, and make sure you know everything there is to need to know, that there is to know about the military in question. Now, how did I join the Navy? So I won't go too deep, like I said, but there was a point when I was living with my grandmother, and I was taking care of my grandfather. He had dementia, so, I had to help her out, make sure that he didn't end up doing something that would hurt himself, or, God forbid, end up killing himself. something horrible like that. So, I went ahead and I was helping her with this, and it got to be very stressful, and we were out in the middle of nowhere, so it was incredibly hard to find a job, which she was also pressuring me. Of course, I mean, it only makes sense. We were struggling, but at the same time, me getting a job would make it so that I couldn't take care of my grandfather, which made it very, very hard to deal with. And so at some point, I was like, I love you, Grandma, and I'm sorry that I have to go, but I think I'm going to join the Navy because I have no prospects. I have nowhere else to go, and I need to move my life forward. So I joined the Navy, and lots of stuff happened, and here I am now.
Oh my. Oh my, oh my, oh my. So if you don't mind my asking, you're all right. You're all right.
No,
I'm
fine.
You're okay?
No, I'm fine. I'm okay. So let me put this into context. Anything that's happened to me in my life thus far, I do not regret. Some things I will not talk about on here, and I will let you know if I'm not comfortable talking about something. But anything that has ever happened to me in my life thus far, I do not regret, because all of that is the culmination. Every single moment of it is the culmination that led me to be the person I am today, and I am proud of that.
Okay, all right. In that case, you won't mind me asking, so Nevi, how did you just become to be so beautiful? How did that come about?
No. No. The answer to that question is no. That didn't happen.
Sure? Are you sure about that?
You heard my laugh. There's a reason they call me the Neko Lolly Goose Witch.
I'm sorry, the what now?
There's a meme that's going around that I am the Neko Goose Witch because I act like a cat, I sound like a goose and a witch when I laugh, and a lot of people like to make fun of me because I'm short.
But there's nothing wrong with that. Like I'm
well, it's just a meme. It's not a big deal.
I know, but I'm just saying. Like you said, like if I not to get words English. Sorry, they escape me.
No, it's fine. That's how it is.
All right.
It's okay, English it's a difficult language. I understand. It's fairly difficult sometimes, even for me, a writer and a voice actress.
Oh dear. All right, so Nevi, let me ask you this.
Ask away.
Where did your deep love of anime spawn from?
Oh man, Sailor Moon. I was about 5 or 6 years old. That was my first anime. Loved it. It was so pretty. It was so cute. The messages were so positive. The romance was so amazing. It was so cute. When they finally kissed. Ah! It was so great. I loved it. I didn't understand what I was feeling as a kid, but it was so cute. I just fangirled so hard. But yeah, no, Sailor Moon was my first anime. I became infatuated with Japan after that. Not so much Japan as anime. And then there was this one specific day. This one day when our teacher, who was a total fucking weeaboo. I didn't know it at the time. No, she was a big weeaboo. Like, I had no idea. I didn't know what that word even meant, okay? But she came back and she told us stories and showed us pictures of her time on the JET program. You know the JET program? Japanese
I do not.
Exchange blah, blah, blah. Japanese exchange teacher training something program. It's like JETTE. I was really into it back in the day because I wanted to become a teacher. But after seeing that, after seeing her experiences in a foreign, exotic land with all of these interesting people and cultures, I just became infatuated with Japan, and I was a total weeb after that. And I was only like 8 at the time.
Oh,
but yeah,
jeez.
No, it was an early inoculation. It was very early. Between Sailor Moon and a bunch of other anime, Inuyasha was a classic one. Fucking Yu Yu Hakusho, that was a good anime right up until the last arc. I still love that anime to this day, by the way. It's an amazing, amazing anime. But the last arc is a little bit of a letdown. But let's see. Other anime that I watched as a kid. It's so long ago now. Fuck. Now only cartoons are coming to my mind. God damn it. But yeah, no, I watched a lot of different anime as a kid. I don't remember a lot of it, but it all deeply influenced myself into being someone who likes anime. Now, that isn't to say I like every anime. There's certainly really bad anime out there, but we all have our opinions, so it's whatever. I've actually been watching. Have you heard of Vinland Saga?
Never.
Never. It recently came out. It is an amazing, mostly historically accurate Viking series anime. Now it follows this kid around throughout his life on a quest for revenge. I almost said revengeance. Fucking Metal Gear. Fucking Metal Gear. God damn it! Get out of my head, Kojima. It's fucking the Walking Simulator 2019 is on my fucking mind. That game is such a mess, but it looks so good. I want to play it really bad. But anyway, so what anime was it? Vinland Saga. Okay, fucking hell. Vinland Saga is a Viking anime. It follows this one kid on his quest for revenge after his father died, which that's not a spoiler, guys. It's in the summary, don't worry, and I won't spoil anything. But you get to watch him throughout the entirety of the Dane-English War, which I believe that's technically the Anglo-Saxon War, though I'm not sure. I don't really know about that period of time. My history is mostly around the Victorian era and the Industrial Revolution. But basically, Viking English War. Danes and English are fighting up because some king killed all the Danes in England, and so they're at war. And you get to watch him follow around a band of pirates trying to get revenge. It's amazing. And the character development is incredibly strong. You get to watch him experience the horrors of war. Now, I want to be clear. This is not for the faint of heart. It is a very, very, very hard anime to watch. It is not only is it bloody, it deals with very, very dark themes. It is incredibly dark. Innocent people being killed, things like that. It's not for the faint of heart, but if you can watch it, it is an incredibly beautiful anime to watch in a very tragic way. That is one of my favorite anime this season. So,
have you ever considered becoming a saleswoman?
Fuck that shit, dude. Fuck that shit. I have a story about that, but the time that Cutco tried to get me in on their little pyramid scheme, but that's a story for another time.
Alrighty then. Alrighty. So tell me, Nevi, what are some of your other hobbies?
Other hobbies.
So we know you brew. We know you do D&D. We know you watch anime, but do you play video games? Watch regular movies?
I don't like a lot of movies that are coming out in modern times. They're really not my thing. So I do go back and watch old movies. A lot of noir films. I love black and white noir films because to me, there's a lot of artistry in not having the story given to you in exposition, having it given to you as you were just watching a slice of a man's life. I think that's an incredibly beautiful concept. And you can even one sec. Excuse me, I had to burp. You can even find that same idea in Blade Runner, the original Blade Runner. Beautiful fucking film. That when I first watched the original Blade Runner, my mind was blown. Like not only did it deal with its themes so artfully and so beautifully, the themes of what is it to be human and mortality and just doubting existence and just existential crises. The settings itself, the setting itself was incredibly well made. Just one particular scene stood out to me the most, where he was in this one alleyway of the I guess you could call them the slum districts, where they were selling all kinds of stuff, like just all kinds of stuff. And he's walking down and he's hunting for this particular replicant. If you don't know what a replicant is, go watch the movie. It's really good. But he's hunting down this replicant, and you just get to see all of these crazy things these people are just selling on in like fucking installs, like all these different vendors, and like it's just so crisp and clear, and like you can tell it's got a no good air to it, and just this same feeling pervades the entire movie. You like the idea of I guess a cronyist corporatist conglomerate just taking over the world and just running everything to the ground. It's basically your basic cyberpunk dystopian future, and I love it. It's so beautiful. Like, it's so well made. And like, I watched the new Blade Runner and I was not impressed. I could not compare it to the old one. I'm sorry. The old one just, it doesn't stand up to it. The old one story didn't even need a continuance, I don't think, but that's my own personal opinion. It's kind of just like, I guess I'm kind of a cult classic kind of girl, but that's me.
I get that. So,
go ahead.
No, please, Nevi, I interrupted. Please continue.
Another good movie. Sunset Boulevard. Words. I'm not words. Sunset Boulevard is the story of a writer who obviously he ends up dead because the movie starts out with him dead. So it's him telling it in the past tense, like how he got to be in this situation. And it's just this incredible story about this older woman who she used to be famous, and she's kind of still stuck in that idea, that era of fame in her head, and she's not really famous anymore. And it's really interesting. It's a bit of a raunchy movie, but it's pretty good.
Does sound very interesting. Sunset Boulevard, you said?
Sunset Boulevard. Yes, it's a classic.
All right, I have not seen that one. I will check it out.
Chinatown is another one, but again, or is it Little China?
Are we talking about Big Trouble in Little Chinatown?
That's the one. Yeah, Big Trouble in Little Chinatown. Actually, no, that's not Noir. That's the action flick. No. Little Chinatown, like that. I'll have to look it up for you later. But it's a very dark flick about this private investigator, classic noir film, in investigating a variety of mysterious deaths and finding some really, really dark shit underneath. It's incredibly interesting. I absolutely love it.
All right. So Chinatown. It has Chinatown in the name, for sure.
I think I will definitely get back to you. Your viewers probably know. There's 65,000 of them. Somebody will probably inform you, but it is definitely one of my favorites.
Alrighty then. Alrighty. So tell me, Nevi, what about music? What's some of your favorite music?
God. I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but I love, and it's not country, it's folk. There's a big difference. Don't any of you tell me there isn't.
Why would you get hate? I love country music.
No. I personally don't like country music, but a lot of other people don't. But folk music, bluegrass, shanties, those are my Brown Bird. Brown Bird is a duet. Sadly, the husband of the duet is dead now, but he made some amazing music. It's very bittersweet music, but it really kind of strikes a chord in the depths of your soul. You have what's the name? Big Bad Voodoo Daddy. They do some really fun, like New Orleans kind of feeling music. It's like that old jazzy music, kind of like bluegrass jazz kind of deal, or a blues jazz kind of deal. I love me a murder ballad. I know that sounds weird. Murder ballads are essentially like folk songs that are about somebody eventually dying or somebody killing somebody. And I love the stories that are embedded within music, and that's really fun to listen to. What's the name of that one band? Fucking
Blue Man Group?
No. Amigo the Devil, that's it. Amigo the Devil. one of my favorite bands. I started listening to them when they first started making music, and they've gotten really big since. But they make some, again, very dark stuff, but it's beautiful. A lot of it's very tragic, but it's so interesting and fun to listen to. And again, shanties. I love singing a shanty while I'm drunk. That's a lot of fun. Shanties are fun. What do you want?
I wasn't judging. I was saying, "Oh, as in that's endearing."
Shut up.
What? What's wrong with being endearing? You're endearing.
No.
Yes.
You don't know what you're talking about.
I know absolutely what I'm talking about.
Anyway, moving on. Shanties are definitely some of my favorite songs. I do not sing, but when I do, I'm drunk and I'm singing shanties. Because I have a horrible singing voice. I'm a good voice actress, I just cannot sing for shit. So beyond that, I do listen to a lot of other genres, but they're all kind of few and far between. Like, I just listen to what I think sounds good. So I don't judge by genre. It's just that a lot of what I like happens to fall into the bluegrass, the folk, and the shanty categories. Because I'll listen to a lot of Japanese music too sometimes, or I'll listen to a lot of rock or fantasy metal. God forbid, fantasy metal's the shit. But like it really just depends on where I'm at any given point. Because I listen to a lot of different music. As long as it's got a good story and it's got some good instrumentals, I'm down.
All right. Okay, Nevi. So we're gonna move on from personal questions now into silly bullshit questions. Are you ready for some nonsense?
Shoot, I am down for this.
All right. So, we're having a dragon apocalypse. So, dragons are real, they're invading Earth, they're burning the whole place down. How would you survive?
I would fuck the dragon.
Can I ask what kind of fuck we're talking about here? Because there's multiple interpretations of that.
I was making a sex joke because I have a bad dragon dildo that I use for voice acting.
Whew, is it just me to get a bit hot in here?
No, I think that's
the thermometer. So, okay.
But no. Realistically, I don't think dragons could stand up to our modern forces.
Ooh.
Seeing what they can do. So now there's some things I can't say because those are. I would get FBI'd in a second.
FBI.
Open up. I would get FBI'd, but I can affirm that even based on a lot of fantasy descriptions, like scales as hard as steel, they can breathe fire. That ain't gonna do nothing to a 50 cal armor piercing rounds. Okay, I'm sorry. And then like flames ain't gonna do nothing to not much. It might overheat the engine of a tank, but it's not really gonna do much to a ship at least. So yeah, now if there were lots of them maybe, or if they were like dragonborns with like specific types of powers, that'd be different. But I think there's one anime that explores this really well, Gate. I don't really like anything past the first season because the first season explores the concept and then that's fine, and then they kind of go into some really weird shit later on. But like they literally go into xenomorphs in the light novel. I don't know how they even got away with that because copyright, but they basically explore in the first season what would happen if modern forces were to come into contact with a mid-fantasy medieval forces, and they just get shredded to bits. They even kill a dragon with a couple rockets and some armor-piercing stuff, and then just give the dragon to a village, and they're like, oh my god, do you know how expensive this thing is? And they're like, we don't want it. It's useless to us. But yeah, so I don't think dragons would stand much of a chance, realistically.
Well, shit. Okay, then. I will accept that answer. Fuck the dragons. Oh, boy. Okay. All right, Nevi. It's time for the eternal question. The most difficult question ever known to man. Tits or ass?
Flat is justice. Flat is justice. So as far as that goes, ass. I don't need big tits. Flat is justice.
Oh boy, that's gonna be controversial. I can't wait for everyone to hear this.
Controversial? Fuck them. I'm right.
Oh, I need to get you into a debate with some other voice actresses. This will be so much fun.
Maybe I'm a little biased. I have some pretty tiny tits.
All right. So, you're stranded on a deserted island, and you can only bring 3 of your favorite foods. What are they?
That's a pretty basic question. I can do that. I thought you were gonna be like bring 3 of your things, and I would have said, oh, my tactical gear.
Well, here's the thing. You're stranded on this island. There's nothing else you can eat but these free foods. So,
that's fair.
Are you sure those are the free foods you want to bring?
Yeah, I would basically bring a fucking what is it called? It's like this one of those like breakfast shake things that have like everything you need in a breakfast. So that would be one thing that I'd be drinking for the rest of my life because nutrients. Then fucking pizza, because pizza, and not like no, it's got to be New York style pizza, okay? Because it's the best pizza I've ever had, and I don't mean New York City, I mean like small family business in the middle of New York. That shit is amazing. Best pizza I've ever had. Wish I could get more. And then pumpkin pie.
Ooh.
Because pumpkin pie is amazing. Or pumpkin pie cheesecake, which is a thing I've had, which is amazing. Oh my god. It's like double custard, like so thick and rich and so bad for you.
I'm trying to think. So
I love it.
So if all those foods you're bringing, do you think you'd get enough vitamins and nutrients to survive on this deserted island?
That is what the breakfast essentials is for, because it's got all that stuff in it.
But is it enough, though?
Yeah.
Okay, alright. This will be your final answer?
Yep.
Okay, I'll take it. So, now, tell me, Nevi, what adorable animal completely disables you? So you lose it with cats. That's your weakness.
Sort of. Cats, I've always had a special connection to, I guess. They always loved me. They just do. And I guess... because I'm kind of a misanthrope, a bit of an introvert, it kind of makes sense. I'm good with dogs. Dogs like me. I can be an alpha, but it's too tiring for me. I don't like being an alpha of a pack. I prefer to be an equal with a cat. Because cats will take care of themselves, and they'll still give you love for, being there with them. And they'll still respect you as an equal. And I feel that's a much deeper emotional role for me, and I know a lot of you out there are going to shit on me for that. I'm sorry. I'm a cat girl. That's not what I meant. I like cats. Fuck. God damn it.
I'm sure Miss Peachy appreciates that.
Probably. She's drawing me as a cat girl. So.
Wait, what now?
So my persona, me and her did a super secret project recently. I can't talk exactly what it is about, but she's doing some cover art for it, and she wanted to draw my persona. So I gave her some basic art that exists. I'm not an artist, so it's just some references. And I showed her some of the fan art that Bookle made of my persona, and just told her, yeah, just give it cat ears because she's got cat ears, and then the rest you can just kind of go crazy with. And so yeah, she's drawing my persona.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay then. Well, exclusively here on the Gamertron show. All right. Okay, so Nevi,
Yeah, what's up?
what's your favorite type of revenge?
Revenge?
Yes, what's your favorite type of revenge?
Hmm. The kind of revenge that takes years to complete. The kind of revenge
Ooh.
that is served cold and meticulous, and you only realize that it has happened. You, as the victim, only realize that it has happened when it is too late. Kind of,
Oh.
specifically, like one of my favorite plays.
Ooh.
Um, It is the American version of Count of Monte Cristo, which I think is one of the best versions I've ever heard. I've heard the original German opera version. I've read the book. The music, none of it to me stands up to the music of this particular play. It kind of connects to me on so many levels, and I can really understand him as a human who has been obsessed with revenge for years. I mean, I see the same thing in Vinland Saga, and I'm just like, it just fucking hurts. But in the Count of Monte Cristo, like you see him devolving into this revenge-fueled madness of and succeeding, of course, because everyone knows he succeeds in most interpretations. And it just finally his ex-wife, who thought he was dead, realizes that it's him, and she's just like, "What have you become?" And he's like, "Bitch! You said you'd wait for me. He lied to you. Why didn't you? Why didn't you? Like, it was great. It was amazing. It was an amazing play. I love it so much. Specifically, two songs: "Every Day a Little Death" and "Bring Hell to Your Doorstep." Two of my favorite songs from that play.
Oh man, that's a better answer than I ever could have hoped for. Oh, thank you for sharing that.
I like complex stories. It's it's my thing.
I see. I see.
Well, not overly complex, but I like it when it's realistically complex. I like that kind of thing.
I get that. I get that. Okay, so Nevi, we are now in the final segment of the interview. I like to do something a little special and a little different. Now you get to ask me questions. Can be as serious or as silly as you like.
Okay. I wasn't prepared for this.
That's the point.
Well, first of all, fuck you. But second of all, what? I'm trying to make sure to get some not overly weird questions, because most of the time I just ask weird meme questions, but those I don't think those can go on YouTube. Let's see. Because they're just that disgusting. They're just that not safe for work. Okay, those questions need to be locked in a fucking vault and never let go. But let's see. What is your favorite written media? It can be manga, fucking comics. Technically, I guess plays.
H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds.
That's not a bad one. I gotta say, I would counter that myself with the King in Yellow. You ever read that one?
I have never heard of that one.
It's not H.G. Wells. I forget his name. It's something that Lovecraft eventually asked the author, and the author was like, yes, to incorporate into his mythos. But it is an amazing book, and I highly recommend it. It's a series of short stories in, I guess you could call it a Lovecraftian sense. It is a beautiful series of short stories about, well, madness and strange happenings, all centered around a specific play. A play known as The King in Yellow.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Very, very good book. Highly suggest. Do I keep asking questions, or?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I don't know how this works.
It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry.
I'm normally drunk when I do this. Okay, when I interview people. So, just give me a little credit.
I'm giving you all the credit in the world. Okay. Oops. Ask that again. Sorry.
Favorite video game.
Doom 2016.
Not bad, but not my type. Definitely not my type. Pokemon right now, currently Pokemon or Fire Emblem. I can't really choose between them.
I see. So you're a strategy girl.
Yes, so much. I love to wreck my friends in Pokemon. It's fun. My Pokemon character is canonically an arsonist and never gets caught. Yeah.
That's
yeah,
dark.
No, it's not that bad. No, so we were making jokes about our Pokemon characters, and my mute friend said her character was this loud asshole type who she's not even from the Galar region, and she would put on like a fake Scottish accent just to annoy people. And then my other friend was like, oh no, he's just a wholesome boy who like really likes helping other trainers train, unless you like get on his wrong side and you piss him off, then he gets pissed off. That's what he does. And then I'm just like, mine's always silent except when she's not, and then you're scared.
I see.
Yeah. It was just a fun stupid meme, but it ended up building its own lore. It was horrible. I hate it now, but it was horrible. It was just stupid. I hate it. But why did you start your channel?
Why did I start my channel? Okay.
You said you were a teenager, so.
Yes. So back when I was a kid, I was a
cringe.
Yes. Yep. Very.
You
basically
posted cringe,
that.
bro.
Yep. Yeah, so basically I just watched a bunch of other gaming YouTubers, and I was like, ow, I really like that. I want to do that. And it was also a case of, like, people weren't making the videos I wanted to watch. That was that was a thing that kind of irritated me. Like, a lot of gaming YouTubers were talking about these games that I didn't play and I didn't care for. It was like, I want these games represented, so that's how the channel got started out. Me wanting to be YouTube famous and pissed off people weren't talking about the video games I liked.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I wanted that at one point in my teens, but I said, you know what? Fuck this. It's stupid. And so I gave up. I was like, no, I'm just going to go do something else with my life. And here I am. Now I'm ex-military voice actress weirdo on the internet.
There is nothing weird about you.
I'm pretty, you gotta admit, I'm pretty eccentric.
Hey, that's fun. Eccentric is fun.
I guess so. Have you ever read House of Leaves, by the way?
Never heard of it.
Try it. Highly suggest it. Listeners, if you like horror, if you like really weird horror, I really like really weird horror, that's my thing. But if you like really weird horror, I highly suggest it. I haven't finished it because it is intense, but I will tell you, it is an amazing book.
Because as we all know, leaves, they're the scariest thing out there.
It's ironic. I still have not seen any reference to leaves. Okay, so I'll give you the basic rundown. No reference to leaves. I'll give you the basic rundown. Basically, the whole story focuses around this one man making a documentary and his family, and they move into a new home. And they soon discover that the house is bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. And, you wouldn't think that's a big deal, but it implies so much more, and things start to get really weird really fast. And it's really, really interesting.
Okay, yeah, color me intrigued.
Mm-hmm. What is your favorite waifu archetype?
I wasn't expecting that. Okay. Oh, shit.
Curveball, bitch.
Yes.
Curveball.
Here's the thing, though. If I tell you this, I might get in trouble.
How so?
Cause, even describing it, I'll get in trouble.
That's the big game.
What? What? Excuse me. Excuse me.
You like someone. You like someone.
Oh, really? Really?
I'm just teasing.
I know. You're delightful.
God damn it.
Well, Nevi, this has been a wonderful interview. Thank you so much.
Really?
Yes!
It's me. Come on.
Yes,
you should know better by now.
You are delightful. You're delightful. You're wonderful.
I don't know about that, but
yes.
it's been fun. It was fun talking to you. I've never done anything like this before, so it was interesting to say the least.
Only interesting. I see how it is.
Interviewing people, and usually it's not being recorded because I'm just a nosy little shit. But yeah, no, it's been a pleasure. It's been amazing. If you ever want to do any collabs or anything, hit me up.
Absolutely.
Or you want to do something stupid.
I'm down for both of those things.
I am good at stupid things.
I am here to help you in any capacity that I can. And again, so thank you so much for coming on, Nevi. Now, if the people watching and listening right now want to go find you and support you, where they go to do that?
Simple. So I have a Twitter at Nevi Alden, NEVIALDEN. I have a Newgrounds, CLF3E7, all caps. Don't ask why it's a different name. I made that Newgrounds like forever ago. Well, not forever ago, but before I started doing professional stuff. Let's see. Think I'm on... No, I'm not. I don't use DeviantArt. I mean, I have one, but I don't use it for this stuff. I'm also on SoundCloud technically, but that's just for hosting my demo reels. But you can find literally all of my stuff on my Twitter, so that's probably the easiest place for you to go. Yeah, my resume is there, my demo reels are there, so if you want to commission or you want to do a collab or literally anything else, hit me up. DM me. You can email me. It's inside my resume. You cannot get my Discord on there. I specifically have that taken down to reduce spam. So if you have a project for me and you need my Discord, we can talk those specifics over DMs or emails. And that's about it.
Aye. Everything, Nevi, will be in the description and in the comment section down below. Links to everything. Now, Nevi, this is the final part of the interview where we threaten the audience with physical violence to go watch and support you. What should we threaten them with?
Ooh, so many things. All right, so if you don't go watch and support me, I'm going to stick my hand into your belly button, pull out your stomach, stuff it back down your mouth, and then I will fucking pull it back out through your asshole. So go do it, please. Thank you.